Welcome back. In the previous video, we looked at Attio default object and we even went as far as diving deep into custom object. We created a single custom object which happens to be videos, and then we went as far as diving deep into attributes. We created a couple of attributes. Remember, we created the video stage, we created the title of the video, and also we went as far as creating a feed that holds the number of likes for a specific video. One thing we didn't talk about is relationship. Just to give you a clear insight on what relationships really are, let's quickly take a close look at one of this object right here. So I'll click on go to object settings. Remember, that is the button you click on, and for one of the object we click on these, move over to the attribute sections, and you will discover that we have the type, we have test status record, user currency, and we have relationship, right? So how is relationship being mapped in the case of Attio? We're going to be seeing it in much more detail, and we will make use of our custom object just to show that example before we move on to the next phase of the series. So moving back, we click on our videos object. Moving to attributes, we want to add a new attribute, right? This is of type user. So the video is created by a user, and this is by default Attio, right? So this is by default Attio. The person that comes into Attio and create the video record, which is an instance of an object, which the object is like the blueprint or the template, while record is an instance of it. So we are going to go ahead now and create an attribute, and the title of this attribute will simply, or the name of the attribute would be called, okay, we'll call it a poster. Then for the type, we're going to have relationship, not discarding. So we're going to have relationship. And remember that for every workspace, depending on the size of the team, there might be 4, there might be 5. It just depends on the organization as a whole. And many of the users of that organization have been invited to come join in the workspace. We're going to be looking at how to invite a couple of other of our team members into our workspace. Now, for this video, it's going to have a poster, and it's going to have a people relationship. Let's not forget that every video is being uploaded by someone. So the poster is simply someone who uploads the video. And we are going to have a many to one kind of relationship. So right here, we're going to have many this way. So we're going to have many videos that can be uploaded by a single person. So on the people side, what do we call this attribute, right? So we're going to call it video. We're going to call it videos because a single person should have uploaded multiple videos. And these people, don't forget, is attached as a relationship with user as well. We can go with, no, we have to go with user, not people. User is simply what is associated with the workspace and not people, right? So we go ahead now and create this attribute. But before I do that, we can see that we have this, which I'll love to touch on. So right here, we have 4 options. We have a one-to-many attribute, and what this implies is that one video can have multiple posters, right? Multiple users as poster. That is what it simply means. And this is not what we want for this project, because in that scenario, when a video already has many users, right, as poster, it becomes difficult for a user to be attached to another video because it's already been mapped by another video, and that is wrong. So we don't want that. Now, in the case of a one-to-one relationship, it only implies that one user can post just one video. Anything aside from that is going to result in an error, and this is also not what we want for the project. Example of this can be seen in real life. A user can have multiple Gmail address, right? But most specifically, once a Gmail account has been created, once it's cannot be created again. So I'll just assume in this scenario, that's just my best explanation to give at the moment. One user to one Gmail, right? So that is it. So I simply show the next, which is what we'll be using a many to one, which implies that we can have many video attached to a single user. So on this side, we're going to have many video, and on this side, I think, let's see how that works. So we're going to have one user, and we're going to have many video. Finally, we have the many to many relationship, and we don't want that here. We can have that if we have two or three users posting multiple videos themselves, but what we want is a many to one kind of relationship. And so that will be it. We'll go ahead and create this attribute, and that is for relationship and how we can map relationship with user. So now our video currently in the dashboard section, so I'm going to move back, do not have any record. Right now we are going to create a single record for our video, and this is where view comes into play. The very first time we have to create a record for a new custom object, at first we'll be presented with this page or this section, which lets us specify which type of view we want for our record. We can interchange this, we can create multiple views for every record, or for every object, and we can also give each view permission. We're going to be looking at that when we get to the permission and security section, but for now we want to use a table view, right? And we simply call this view video list. We click on confirm to confirm this right here. So now we are going to create our first video record, and for the title, remember these are the fields we set. The first one will be introduction to Attio, and we know that we've published this video, so I'm going to click on publish. And now for the poster, we're going to go ahead and create a user. Remember that a user in Attio is automatically attached to a person, so we'll create Matthew, and for the primary email we'll make use of this, and for the user ID we are simply going to call it Matthew, all in lowercase, right? And for the videos, it's going to be a couple of videos, but we want to keep things very, very simple for now. Remember that after we've only after we've created the video will the video be available in this select section. So right now we haven't created that video, but we need a user attached to that video. So we'll go ahead now and create the record for a user. And now that we've created the record, we can see that what is simply happening here is that it's automatically attached the Gmail address of that specific user that we've created. So right now we'll go ahead and we create our record. So you can see this was created by Matthew Pico, and our video stage is published. And I'll move back now, and we have one count, implying that we now have a video has been published, right? So what we are seeing right here is just the ID alone, but we want to see other feeds of our video, so we can click on add column. So the next column we want to add is the title. We can add another column again. We can add the video stage, and the video stage right here is published. And then we can add a column that says created at, right? And then we can simply add the poster, and we can specify the name of the person in place of the email. So we click on name, and we want to use the full name of the person, right? So these are the fields that we can kind of customize our table list to show. Now going further, we want to move back to our objects again, our records. We want to go to the settings. I want to show you something. So when we click on this, we want to edit. Now by default, you can see that when we were looking at the record that was created for video, we had an ID. So we want to move over to appearance right now, and we want to change how the record is being presented, the label that it uses. So it makes use of the video by default, the ID, and we don't want that. So we want to change it to the title, right? So we're going to have introduction to Attio. And now we've done that, we can simply move back. So moving back to our videos object, now we have introduction to Attio as the video. So we can do away with this specific column. So let's hide from view, right? So we now have the video, we have the video stage, we have the time it was created, and we also have the name of who uploaded this video. Now that is for viewing in a table form. We can go further and change it in a way that we have the video stage in the status format, and that is where the Kanban view comes into play. So right now we click on this video list and we want to create a new view. Now this time we're going to have Kanban, and for this view we're going to call it video stages, right? And there are a couple of columns that we'll need for this. So remember that we had an attribute called the status attribute of our video itself, and that attribute was titled video stage. And you can see that it looked at our video record or our video object, and when it passes through, you see that there's a status feed called video stage, and that is what is presented to us right here. We go ahead and click on video stage, and then we confirm. Now you can see it right here that we have a couple of stages. We have the pending, we have the publish, we have the unpublished, and we have the private. And we can move the stages, right? We can move them. So we have the publish stage at the very end. At first, we're going to go from pending to unpublished, and from unpublished, you can decide if you want it to be private or if you want to have it published. And this video right here is already published and on the YouTube channel. So that is why we have it in the published section. And so that is that when it comes to mapping of relationships. And when we move over to users as well, we want to search for a specific user, which is this user. And we can click on add column, and let's see videos, right? We want to add the video, we want to add the title of the video. And we can simply go ahead, open this up. I think we can add another video again, and we attach it to the specific user. Let's go ahead and do just that. So back in video, we want to add a new video, so that should be new video, and the title would be called objects in Attio. So now that video is still private, right? And no likes, so we're going to keep it at 0. We can specify development as the poster again, and we can go ahead and create this record. Now you can see it's possible for us to create multiple videos and attach it to a single user, the only user we've defined so far, and that is our relationship as a type is used in mapping of custom object with already existing standard object, or mapping of custom object with custom objects. And that brings us to the end of this video. We've taken a look at views and how view make after 2 different views can be presented. We have the table view and we also have the Kanban view, and we've also looked at relationship, and I explained to you the different types of relationships that are available in Attio. Now, these are most of the core functionalities and features of Attio. In the next video, we are going to be looking at pipelines, these and stages, and how we can simply create a new object. We call it leads, and it's going to be an amazing one. So stick around for that. And until then, keep being your best self. Peace out. Bye.